first for Shanji.
So, same bans from NIP as they were on red side. It has been, of course, flip the sides in Senna, banned from IG. So no Photic and Zhuo playing towards that rock-solid bot lane and then firing across the map to help out the top side. However, IG potentially picking towards this Varus again, but not for the same player. On in, of course, for xiaoyueji on that bot side of the map. He'll be playing his first game of the LPL of 2024 at least. Of course, he was playing most of the games last year too. He didn't play in their first series, but he's back again for game 2 of this one.
xiaoyueji was that support we were talking about subbing in last year for IG, and it wasn't in place of On. But On and Wink, a classic combo for IG, a combo that's been around for a little while, since 2022.
It was always very funny how they were both Draven players in their points as well. Like, if I had a player for each Draven, I could pick on my team. I'd have 2, which is weird that we have 2. You know how it goes.
So but, they still really liked the pieces of their game 1 composition. They go ahead and grab the Jax and the Varus.
They do, but they're not up against the center and the bot side, importantly so, which is very, very hard to... Oh my gosh, what has happened to the hair?
I think it got bigger.
Oh my gosh, what has happened to the hair? Stop the talk about draft. What is going on with the hairdressing?
Somebody back there was like, let's make it bigger. Let's Lulu ulti the hair.
Oh, it's like someone's heading in with the storm surge. The lightning bolt's got it static with static.
Or that, yeah.
Static electricity. Have you ever touched a Van de Graaff machine? You know those little balls which give you the. Anyway,
yeah.
we'll talk about it at some point. This is a different pick. We're potentially seeing a Lissandra support into the Rakan from Wink.
And I'm wondering if that is going to be the case. I think you can have a lot of control over the lane because of that, and you just have so much engage potential from the two, from the Varus and the Lissandra. But now that we get into the second phase of bans, I do expect IG to start buckling down on what will be this mid matchup as well as the jungle matchup. We already get the Akali ban towards Rookie, a ban that IG wanted to go ahead and do in the second phase last game too.
Yeah, so they banned away the Orianna last time as well, which I think would probably not go amiss. It's either the Azir or the Orianna that you're taking off the table. So the good thing here from IG is that they can hold potentially a flex for mid lane support for Lissandra until R5. We're not really seeing that much Lissandra being played in mid lane. There's a chance of it if Rookie wants to pick up LeBlanc, because Lissandra was always a pretty good matchup as that champion. But with that banned away, that assumes that Lissandra is probably going towards the support instead of mid lane. Otherwise, I'd be tempted to leave the LeBlanc up and pick it into it. But then the risk is, of course, Rookie's LeBlanc. On the other side, a lot of the initiating junglers taken away from Tianzhen.
That's what's keeping my brain ticking right now. Is trying to figure out exactly what Tianzhen is going to go here. He did have the Lee Sin that I thought was pretty serviceable, as well as the Rel. The Orianna was a pick that was let through here as the Nocturne was taken away, but maybe that strength from the champion inherently can be worth it. Cryin going to grab that one. A classic for him.
I think this is a pretty easy Azir lock-in for Rookie now. You don't particularly want to play Corki or Talir into the Orianna. Orianna tends to just land the shockwave on you and force you out of lane too easily, whereas the Azir can kind of shuffle out of it and have some pressure on there too. So that was the easy lock-in. And of course, Arki potentially going back towards one of his tried and true faithfuls in the Vice. So, it will be last pick jungle. This one's kind of the jack of all trades. Not the most valuable R5, not going to lie, but it's still, in terms of counter pick potential, but it does fit the composition very, very well. You're going to have much more, it feels like effective engage than you would have done in that last game. Now you have Rel, Orianna, Lissandra, Varusol, and the Jax jumping in to potentially catch out carries in the backline from NIP.
I think Rel just brings a lot of flexibility to the jungle role, as well as just giving Tianzhen a little bit more of that power of engage that I want to see that commanding point be behind him as well. I do, though, see a much similar composition to NIP, or at least for NIP. They have the pick tool, at least in Aki, but they have some very good sustained damage in the comp between Rookie and Photic.
They do. They are less protective this game than the last one, though. The front line is a bit more fragile when you've got the Vi, who sometimes gets caught out overextending, and of course the Rakan over the Tahm Kench. So, will that give an opening? This time for IG to snap back against NIP. We'll have to see. Their engages will still have to be on point. They're still going to have to stop Rookie and Photic doing damage, as you've so rightfully pointed out.
The top lane matchup, a chance of redemption for YSKM for sure. The big focus for us coming into this one is seeing how the top jungle matchups are going to look for these two. But
We now have seen that mid lane was a little bit of a difference maker. Rookie getting very far ahead of Cryin.
I can't with that.
And Photic and Zhuo actually ended up being a big powerhouse for an IP to play around. So I think those are the things that IG needs to think about moving forward here is, can Tianzhen be proactive and get the map in control of IG? Because it started looking all right for them in last game, and then IP quickly wrestled control away.
So let's try not to throw some early fights over to NIP this time, shall we, IG? Let's see if they can get themselves their engages on the right page.
See if maybe the crowd's woken up a little bit and get those Chios as the skybox roars with the dragon. It is a beautiful time to be watching NIP versus IG Game 2. They're still asleep, Nymaera.
I think they're still asleep. Well, it's pretty early here. Pretty early here on in European time as well, from where I am in the world. So I don't begrudge them that.
Is it early? Is it late? Who knows?
I would also be silent after witnessing the raw destructive potential of Rookie's Corki in that last game. Tianzhen probably just going to W over the wall. In fact, doesn't have the ability to do so. He started Q to get the stun, couldn't hop over the wall, forced the flash.
That's a bit rough. You do have the Hex Flash, so not like super detrimental, but definitely wish you could have that flash combo down early on for your first gank. Not going to be there. So at least in IP trying to get something early on, but maybe IG say, well, you know, we're at a deficit. Let's just go ahead and see if we can get something back. They do get some vision down here, bringing a lot of members.
Oh
my god, this is so
Oh, Tianzhen, buddy, you don't have W or flash.
This
you
is
don't
so
have. What
dicey.
are you doing?
Tianzhen just might have tossed the game at level 1. He does go down, and it's first blood to Aki.
Oh my gosh, that is such an overstep. Buddy, you can't do that. You started with the Q. If anyone walks up to you, you are fighting because you can't leave. And they don't have the ability to pile on and force a full fight in their advantage. I know that stuff like the Lissandra W can potentially be very, very strong at level 1, but I didn't even see if Winked started that or the Q. But either way, now having a late jungle start, a death already going over. Speaking of that Lissandra support, looks like Luma was the last person to play in 2019 as supported in that role. Of course, more recently, we've seen Mickey X over in G2 in the LEC play it quite a lot, particularly into the Rakan because he jumps in and just gets CC'd up and dies. Interested to see what he can make of the pick.
And I want to see if it actually unlocks anything down here, and if you're going to end up getting an advantage with it. And I know you will around objectives, a lot of setup, a lot of CC, but also the reset potential there with the Frozen Thralls. But it's about getting to that point here. And NIP are already off to a strong start with the first kill on Aki, and Aki known to be a very proactive jungler and somebody who, with some kills, can do some serious damage.
Shanji doing some pretty okay damage up here as well. Of course, he was losing out on the early trades in the last time around. So yeah, the laning phase of Lissandra into Rakan is typically really, really strong. He can't ever really W at you because you just tap W as soon as he flies at you. You can cancel W and just lock him in place. Now have ourselves a bit of an invade from Aki, using the fact that Tianzhen was slow on his clear because he was dead. And now he has double buffs. Tianzhen will spot him out. See what he can do with this.
Tianzhen doesn't want this fight. He's able to get a little trade back. Rookie actually taking a pretty heavy trade from Cryin in the mid lane. Looks like Scuttle Crab should be Aki's, but maybe a little bit of contest coming over as Wink and On coming up too.
And they have the flash on the Lissandra. It's very, very dangerous playing against the Lissandra that can kind of run out of lane and then kind of put the frozen path down and then try and flash W afterwards. So there's some good follow-up from that champion pick. So you're going to give it the bot lane, bot side scuttle up. You know, to get top side either way though. Aki's still in a very happy spot.
I think you're perfectly fine in that situation. I think this is also a bit different from what we've seen in the last game, as well as like IG not needing to go for crazy early games. Like they do have some serious strength as the time goes on.
If you have the Lissandra support, and then you have like a Sejuani jungle, and then you know that one surprise party of Mumu who's dressed up as cake? Is that the ice cream cake we were discussing in game 1?
100 times,
so
yes.
if we see enough Freljordian champions with that skin, maybe we'll see.
Sneaky.
We got the Hex Flash.
He's sneaky. Tianzhen with the
surprise
there, and Zhuo had no idea. Oh, but neither did Cryin. Instantly responded to by Rookie getting the kill in mid.
Okay, well played by Aki. Realizes that the play's happening bot side, immediately responds to mid lane. Problem is, there's a cannon in this wave too, so Cryin is actually not going to miss any farm at all. So all this is a bit of an extended reset from Cryin. Doesn't actually lose that much for it. The only thing which really goes over is the kill gold over to Rookie. So IG, once again, finding some routes into this early game through that bot side, but getting a little bit concerning now that Aki's so active on the map.
And taking a look back at this was the
Wait, it was on
Aki
Vision
style setup. It was literally on Vision. That's why he smiled and laughed at himself afterwards, because he just didn't expect the death, I guess.
Of course, on the live feed, we went straight from bot side through to mid lane, but if you look at the minimap, we'd have been able to see that ward. Either way, this laning phase in bot side now is going to be quite difficult for Photic and Zhuo, so they're going to have to live up to their reputation as a lane which can kind of withstand a decent amount of pressure. This bot lane is one which has been pretty good at being a rock in the bot side of the map, but Lincoln on, especially with this, looks to be with the Hail Blaze, the poke barriers coming through as well. They're going to really be chunking down this Zyra Khan before they really get to fight on even terms.
Now we get to see the OP-ness of the Rel against the Grubbies, as she does have that shield shatter that makes sure that it's a little bit easier. And also, something else to bring up while we look at why those summoner spells got burned down there is Tianzhen on the Rel just is tenacious, I feel like. And it's, even with those early deficits going down, some things going wrong, it's a champion that can always have a big moment.
Absolutely. Rel has become the jack of all trades. Rookie tries to avoid a shockwave, but Tianzhen's here to follow up.
Goes over the wall there with the flash, but won't be able to get any more after Rookie burns his.
Okay, so that's just not being able to track Tianzhen well enough, because you want to shuffle outside of the ball's kind of command radius, make sure that a free shockwave doesn't come down. That's often how it can lose to the Orianna. But yeah, Tianzhen, they're ready to make a response. Shanji roaming down, but not being able to find a proper angle into mid lane.
We did get that dragon going over to NIP. The last grub is left there all alone. I can't believe this. This is cruelty.
Is that Ed already? Which one is it? Who's
name?
left?
Does it get it? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Does it get a different name when it's by itself?
That's a good question. It depends on what you're calling
Grubberton the third. No, the fourth.
Wait, what do you mean the fourth? It's only the third one spawn. Where was the first one? There are only 3 in the first spawn. Why the fourth?
Don't make me, because he's
the
by
logic
himself,
is not
I don't know.
logicking here, Mazel.
It is logicking. But anyways, doesn't always need logic. As I do expect Aki to try to play a little bit more aggressively now, back onto it. Tianzhen's like, I'm not losing my chicky nuggies for a 3rd time in a row.
Well, he's going to be able to defend them just about at this point. Of course, Cryin had reset, which potentially meant that Aki could have stuck around for an extended steal attempt. Level 6 hit by Arn quite early. Zhuo still at level 4. There's a cleanse on Photic, but no ultimate. Like, you can see how dangerous the range advantage of this bot lane is, and the poke that starts to rack up over time.
That's going to be the Chains of Corruption used and the cleanse burned by Photic.
You can even use the E to get
Nice
that.
double engage there. Beautifully done. Going to get out of the blade collar, though, on a beautiful little sidestep. And the range is really starting to come to worth here for IG.
Okay, Aki's on both sides of the map. He's going to get spotted out, but he has ult. Double flash is available for on a wing. Realistically, this is a pressure gank. This is going to buy Photic and Zhuo a chance to take their wave to wherever they want it to be, whether it's just a soft freeze kind of
He's going to wrap back around. This is really smart. I thought they were bringing Rookie as well, but he has level 6, so why not?
I really don't think there's an angle here. This is just pressure
No?
for me. I don't think... Yeah, I mean, you look at like the double flashes and the level 6 available from wing. If you can't target Lysandra at that point, she can freeze up whoever's starting to fly in as well. You're realistically not going to be able to get the most out of that, which means that the play fizzles out. So we have really good vision being built up by IG this time around. Yes, some stuff was just cleared out by Aki. They have some decent vision into the river, which means that if Aki's going to be around, they're going to see him. But Rookie has found a route into the enemy jungle off of that vision line.
Rookie's been playing a little bit slowly, at least out of this mid lane for this Azir, but stacking up beautifully well. And nice flash from Cryin. Going to get hit out of a death trap that was being set up by NIP. That is the shockwave burned on the back.
It is. He saw Aki in the bush, so he thought, okay, well, maybe without Aki there, he could kind of just take the ultimate save as flash. Tianzhen would have been there soon enough, and chooses to be more respectful than he was in his mid lane death under tower before this point. So we're getting to the point where, you know, The next phase of the game with the first item spikes is just about to be hit. We'll get them in the next minute or two, and then we'll really start to see whether their first big fights come through. I'm looking really at that next dragon. If NIP stack up a second dragon, I think they can be a lot more happy with themselves and finally break themselves out of some of this extended laning phase, which is not going so great for the Xayah. Xayah is a bit of a difficult champion to play around if you have been shut down in laning phase, so I'm looking to see how NIP can get some more resources onto Photic's AD carry.
The problem is, as well, is it's just really difficult to play with all these CC tools down, right? You have to use your Featherstorm on so many different things that it's going to be really hard for Photic to find entrance, but that is why Photic has been sometimes the best ADC in the league, or at least fighting for it, because he has really good position. We saw it on the Senna last game as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, I always remember the Callista Renata from Photic and Zhuo as well in 22 Spring. That was one of the duos which they were very, very best at piloting. So yeah, you know, they're a versatile bot lane, and now they have to see that they can use that versatility to figure out a way out of this potentially difficult bot lane situation with Arn and Wink, with the, of course, Arn subbing in from xiaoyueji as well. A difficult game one because he couldn't really do much. It wasn't really an individual underperformance, it was just a, can't really do much about this Corki. Her is a on-hit Varus. He's gone for the poke build in this game for Arn this time. And this bot lane now, I feel like, takes up a bit more of the position that NIP's bot lane had in the last one, where they are the rock which is harder to break than the Xayah can. They have the range advantage, they can stand their ground, and with the Lissandra ult either to be defensively onto Wink or onto the person diving in onto them, it's really hard to get on top of that duo and really break them.
For sure. We actually see the turret plates going over to Rookie here, but I wanted to check in because we got the Sundered Sky completed early for Aki. Very strong potential there with the skirmishing. So NIP will just take forward foot and go for a second dragon, while Tianzhen and Co are on their way, but a little bit behind the play.
Yeah, you need Wink to be here realistically to have AoE CC. Zhuo is potentially out of position, but spots the enemies going towards him. Tianzhen has flash, but they're just too late. They're not there at the right time, and suddenly 2 dragons early to NIP for not much loss. They didn't give up anything for this, so IG, sadly for them, not going to be able to stop NIP getting the value out of this early game, which they just managed to claw back there.
I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sure. I know it didn't matter because they weren't going to make it there anyways, but right before they got to it, I'm pretty sure they passed over a blast cone for IG and Tianzhen got knocked backwards. But it doesn't matter. But like they would have made it anyways.
Oh, Shanji, that's a bit of an awkward W.
Yeah, a little bit, but he's fine. He's doing okay. And that's another difference, I feel like, of this game, is that we haven't gotten that kind of craziness of that solo kill and the refocus up there to try to pull the emergency services this time. It has really been just a quiet top lane.
Has been so far. Interested to see now, of course, how that...
He did! I knew it!
Glad to see that one. Glad to see someone had eyes on the minimap. Speaking of eyes on the minimap, I really want to highlight the vision control again. When you're playing pushing bot lanes, you really need to secure that push. And IG have done a very good job about that. Aki's never really had good angles toward this bot side, and that's led to 3 plates and a huge CS lead going down. Wink has built himself up the Celestial Opposition support item as well, and now one of the things which I was talking about was, hey, can NIP get themselves to a point where they can get more resources onto the Xayah? They can do by doing a bit of a lane swap towards the top side. I wonder if they can get themselves maybe 1 plate before the timer dies off as well at 14 minutes.
I feel like they should be able to. You are getting a good response out here from Wink coming up this way. There's that plate going to go over to Photic, maybe even a second one with the damage it does. We'll see if he does end up getting that one, though. But it is a very interesting set of lane swaps coming through here. We have the first items really coming on board for a majority of members now as well. So trying to figure out how NIP are going to get back onto the map here and find a safe place for Photic, I feel like, is the next course of action.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty valuable lane swap from NIP, all things said and done. So, we do have Void Grubs, which aren't going to get taken in time because we have Herald spawning at 14 minutes. They're all gone.
They killed themselves. Oh no! They are all gone. Now it's the grubs. The sacrifice has been completed.
Is that how you summon the Herald? You just like throw a load of...
I think it is.
You make like a summoning circle out of grubs?
No, it's the grubs that have to make the summoning circle.
Right.
Don't make it out of them.
So that's actually the grubs emergency services. Like, yo, this is getting a bit hot for us. Can you call them
they're just going to boldly start this one up. As everybody from IP is like, you want to fight? We'll give you some fisticuffs. Rookie's on his way. Shanji's already here. You have YSKM on the backside with a flank, but he's just being burned down. The cease and desist comes through it. Burst Divide right back, and here comes Tianzhen. This is a chaotic fight. What the heck? As Tianzhen is on the backside. Now you got Shanji with the ulti out. Tianzhen's just gone now. YSKM now goes in for some reason. And IG are falling apart at the seams.
And they managed to do that with such a split fight. Two people go top, Zhuo's going on a flank towards the bot side, a full screen and a half away, and it ends up in a 3 for none. Herald going over, and just like the last game, it feels like IG are in a pretty okay early game situation, but then suddenly the first big fight of the way goes the way of NIP. And after this, NIP are going to be feeling a lot happier about the resources they have in their carries pockets, because Rookie is once again online.
Dude, Rookie's just sitting there. So you came to me on the day that I play IG, huh? Well, I'm going to start both games sitting 2-0-2, because why not? And it's a serious moment to think that, Rookie is Rookie. He is one of our best players in League and has been, and he's definitely taking it to his old home now.
Yeah, I'd be quite surprised if he was committing, identity theft or something like that. He actually wasn't Rookie all this time. He's still the same player, folks. You can see that the big difference for me in this fight is actually how much Shanji is doing in terms of frontlining at this point. He has a good escape button. Photic is keeping enough HP. The fact that Shanji is just buying enough time, it means that the split fight on both ways with Zhuo on one side and Aki engaging on the other just about manages to tick over into a successful fight.
When you look at the audience, you would not tell how crazy that fight is. They were all just chilling. It's just another day of the week here in the LPL. Meanwhile, yeah, chaos had definitely ensued in that one. And that's something for me that's always telling about the LPL is we can have chaos all the time. It's literally our nature, right? It's our slogan. But it's more so about trying to figure out in that chaos who has the right head on their shoulders and who has the right decision-making potential. And I think NIP has shown they got some pretty damn good heads on their shoulders.
That they do. And that's why now Photic is actually in an okay position. The CS advantage hasn't grown particularly. He's got himself 3 assists.
Who's driving?
Who's up? That's a very good question. Are they going to put it the right way? Rookie's looking to put them into the dirt.
Rookie's driving. I don't know, though. Zhuo is going to miss the engage. Does end up turning back. Tianzhen is there. Rookie's locked down. Rookie with the Emperor's Divide gets flashed up by YSKM, or at least dashed on. And now it's just IG, who thought they could find Rookie for a second game in a row and ended up with literally nothing.
I mean, Rookie's the tank now? I don't know, man. He took like 2 or 3 ultimates, 3 people focusing him down, but just with the Merc Treads, he somehow makes his way out of that one alive. That was one of the weirder Azir fights I've seen in quite a while, but it works out for them nonetheless. It's going to buy them an outer turret. Rookie, are you going in again?
Oh my god! On and Wink reunited again, and maybe reunited in death. Welcome back.
Gosh, what a destructive phase of play. The last 3 minutes have been absolutely exemplary from NIP in the way that they've looked towards their fights. The fights have executed themselves in quite strange ways, but they're effective. Who am I to complain after that point? And sadly for NIP, for IG rather, across from them, they've managed to now get themselves into a point where these pressure lanes they're playing around, the Orianna which can take control of the mid lane, the Jax which can take control of the top lane, of course this bot lane which was getting serious advantages, now they have to play from a deficit, which is not really what these lanes are balanced around. They're going to have to play from behind, and they're going to have to find some way back into this game.
That's an avenue that's getting darker and darker as the lights start going out. Cryin maybe wishing the lampposts were around a little bit earlier, because now he's in some trouble. Rookie has come from the night to claim his life, and he does just that here. The minions are going to be claiming the kill as Rookie puts the cherry on top.
Oh my gosh, he just drops the match with the red buff, and he just walks away. Cool guys don't look at explosions in the top lane. It's so good to see Rookie back, man. We've had some worries about his form. Demacia Cup was a bit strange. 2023 was a difficult year for him as well. He had 1 good game and 1 bad game in pretty much all of his best of 3s. But these have been 2 good games back-to-back from the man in the mid lane.
I really am glad that you kept talking during that, because my entire screen was frozen and I was wondering what was going on. So now we get back into it. And it's actually IG looking to punish NIP on the way out.
Do you want to know a fun fact about what happened in that top laner's play as well? Because it's something which happened in this last play. You can apply red buff on Azir Souls now. We'll see if this fight is actually good. I don't think this fight's going to evolve into like, right guys? Right? Aki?
Right?
You're going to go for
right?
it? Right?
Right, guys? Right? Oh no! Oh no! YSKM, run away! Oh! Well,
That
NIP
was,
are just easily handling it here.
So that's why I was sat there like, this fight shouldn't really evolve right, because IG were not in a position to contest that. They teleport in, get absolutely blasted. The only way that fight should really start is if Aki decides, right, I'm pressing the R button. IG commit to that fight, they get blown up once again, and this is now pre-20 minutes looking like the death knell for this game.
It is a little bit there, as there is another turret falling in mid lane. It is an 8,000 gold lead, sub 20 minutes. And it's an NIP who is looking to steam off into the 2-0 sunset and join some of the best at the top of the table.
So this is what I was saying about the frontline rookie. I'm like, so he tanks up, you know, the Lissandra ult, and then he's in the middle of Rel's engage and the shockwave, and he still makes it out alive. Rookie apparently does not just do mad amounts of damage, he survives mad amounts of it as well, and because so much is used on the Azir, who is still putting out damage at the end of it, it's just such a free fight for the rest of the team to run over.
Now, actually, there's not much real estate on the map for IG to contest over, and that's where I want to spend a little bit of time thinking about the compositional thought process here with the Lissandra support. I know we talked a little bit about it before, and I like the initial concept of it, and maybe we don't have time for that since Baron's being started, but maybe so that we can bring up a little bit later on as it's already burning.
So the problem is, you're meant to be at a big lead by this point, you're meant to have snowballed, you are not at that point. Now you're going into enemy fog of war, you're going into very dangerous situations. Maybe you can get a good enough shockwave to turn things around, but even that I think is going to be step one in like a 10-part process to winning even a fight from IG. It's a very difficult situation for them.
See IG just try to run away, and one person's left out, and unfortunately it's Wink. Cryine's coming over with a shockwave, maybe looking to try to get something back. There's the all-out though from Shanji, and Wink is just absolutely gone. Another engage on a Cryin. He finally gets the
there's no way out.
Down anyways. There is no way out. Shanji's still alive. YSKM, he wants it! He got the kill, let's go! It's a consolation prize, as it's the small prize given at the end, but it's NIP that take home the big one, and it's looking like a big purple worm.
Oh, there's no way out. 707 on the Azir, 208 on the Xayah as well. The carries of NIP have had a really, really solid day. And IG looking at, you know, one of the names which made them the organization they are today in Rookie, taking them down. It's a bit of a pill to swallow. The Baron's going to go down with it. As you said, it felt like the game's been over since about 18, 19 minutes into the game. This is just the victory lap on top of it. Wink's caught out. The retreat is not so organized. YSKM's not there in time to be disrupted. Cryine's not there for a shockwave. NIP kind of forced them into a bad spot trying to answer the Baron. They pick them apart as they retreat from it in disorderly fashion. This to me is just the extra bit as well. The Azir turret goes up between them and their base, so they're like, yeah, so we're really not getting out of this one, huh? YSKM splashes in to try and get just one last kill on the board. He does get that, but that is the last laugh they will have, and it certainly won't be the end of the Cryin in this game.
Oh goodness, they're just going in now. On was the focus, but it's actually a nice little disengage there from IG. Oh, it's Rookie that finds a double in the end, and he's making it known that they did not come to play, they came to smash. And NIP are running away with game 2.
20 kills to 2, ain't that a scoreline? NIP, this team is one which I've personally been very excited about heading into this season of LPL, and you can absolutely see why. When they're firing on all cylinders, they have so much pedigree. Rookie chasing down on, doesn't have an ult, he has a flash, but that's not going to be enough, buddy, I'm so sorry.
I don't think he's going to make it out of this one. Zhuo comes in just to make sure. And final gasps in this top side of or bottom side of the map, rather, going to be this last turret going down to Shanji.
That's going to be going down, but Aki's actually deciding not to push around for an inhib. Rookie is just doing his own thing.
Just having fun.
This might be... I was about to say it might be a little too far, but YSKM wasn't close enough because they'd gone in, they used them abilities.
Wait, oh my god, he got a solo on Cryin.
What? What is happening?
Like, we've got see the replay of that one,
Aki's backed off, taking the dragon. Top side is doing just random things with Rookie and Zhuo, and Shanji is just once again doing sad things. There is no rhyme or reason to this.
Oh my goodness. Alright, well, they have some Baron up minions now. They're looking to push the end. As it's almost 15k lead, and NIP putting a 2-0 smackaroony to IG here. One last TP in, one last attempt to try to kill Rookie, but he's literally not taking any damage. And Rookie goes forward, eliminates On as he welcomes him back to the LPL with open arms and a bloody lip. That's game 2 to NIP and the series 2-0 to the Ninjas in Pyjamas with some extra sauce added on top at the end.
Photic gets rid of his clean sheet, dies on the fountain, but what style he does it with. That's more than a bloody lip, mate. That's a cracked rib. That's a trip to the emergency ward, because that was nothing short of a brutalization of Invictus Gaming. NIP, that's a heck of a way to come into this year. They're looking pretty okay as a team, aren't they? And it just goes to show, again, these names on paper, they are something to feel excited about, but now we're actually seeing the gameplay of them. You're starting to see some of the solidity behind those feelings.
And the haircut just stays